Before the towering skyline, before the lights, the noise, and the millions of lives, there was only wilderness. This is the story of how a quiet island became the city that never sleeps, the evolution of New York City. In 1524, when European explorers first arrived, Manhattan was not a city. It was a vast, untouched land of forests, rivers, and wildlife. Native communities lived here in balance with nature, moving along the water, building small settlements, and thriving without roads, without buildings, without the idea of a city as we know it. By the early 1600s, everything began to change. Dutch settlers arrived, bringing trade, ambition, and the first signs of transformation. They built wooden homes, carved paths through the land, and established a growing port at the southern tip of the island. They called it New Amsterdam. But history moved quickly. In 1664, the British took control, and New Amsterdam became New York. Under British rule, the settlement expanded. Streets became more organized, commerce increased, and the population slowly grew. By the time of the American Revolution, New York was no longer just a settlement, it was becoming a city. The 19th century changed everything. New York expanded northward as farmland gave way to neighborhoods, and a structured grid system shaped the island's future. Ships filled the harbor, industries rose, and waves of immigrants arrived, each bringing new dreams and new energy. The city grew louder, faster, and more alive. In 1883, the Brooklyn Bridge connected Manhattan and Brooklyn, symbolizing not just engineering brilliance, but unity and progress. New York was no longer simply growing, it was accelerating into something far greater. As the 20th century began, the city reached for the sky. Skyscrapers transformed the skyline, rising higher with each passing year. Steel and ambition reshaped the horizon, and in 1931, the Empire State Building stood as a bold symbol of what the city could achieve. Through war, economic shifts, and cultural change, New York continued to evolve. It became more crowded, more complex, and more powerful. Even during the difficult years of the 1970s, when the city faced crime and financial struggle, its spirit never disappeared. By the 1980s and 1990s, New York began to reinvent itself. Wall Street surged, culture thrived, and Times Square became a global icon of energy and light. Towering above the skyline, the twin towers of the World Trade Center stood as symbols of progress and possibility. In 2001, everything changed. The city faced one of its darkest moments. The skyline was altered and countless lives were lost. But New York endured. It rebuilt, stronger and more united, proving once again its resilience. In the years that followed, a new New York emerged. Glass towers rose into the sky. Technology reshaped everyday life, and the city became more connected than ever before. Even in moments of global uncertainty, the energy of New York never faded. And now, we look ahead. The New York of the future is already taking shape. A smarter, greener, more innovative city. A place where technology and humanity exist side by side, where buildings evolve, and where life moves faster than ever before. From untouched wilderness to one of the greatest cities on earth, New York is more than a place. It is a story of transformation, resilience, and endless possibility. And that story is still being written.